Hey folks, Jim Horton, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, coming to you live from our broadcasting studios on the 97th floor of our offices, high above beautiful downtown Columbia, Missouri. And I hope that you recognize me in my Clark Kent costume today. Kind of had to because it's tiring being Superman all the time. It really it is. Anyway, I digress. So, as I said in the Show Me the Market update that I did yesterday, one of the things that I want to do is kind of level set the jargon and the statistics that I used when going through and talking about the state of the market here in mid-Missouri. To that end, and actually, if you'll work with me here for just a minute, this kind of helps explain a little bit about why I'm kind of doing some of this stuff. And yes, vacuum cleaners. If I'm going to go through and I'm going to buy a vacuum cleaner, I'm going to take the time to do the research on which brand has the best reliability. I want to know where I can purchase it, where I can get the best price. Can I buy it locally and keep my money here? Do I need to go and buy, from a big box store? Which one is best at cleaning up those little clumps and piles of what used to be shoes that my puppy has left behind for me? So the point is, I will spend hours searching for a vacuum cleaner. But a home, the biggest investment that most of us are going to make through the entirety of our lives, I've made a purchase decision in about 15 minutes on a walkthrough with an agent. So the idea here is to help make us more informed participants in the real estate market. And to that end, the first thing that I want to go through and that I want to talk about today is buyer's market and seller's market, and what they are and why they're important, and why do you care? I think most of us are familiar with the term supply and demand and what that means. And when something is scarce and there's lots of people that want to buy it, the price goes up, and then the converse is also true. Buyer's market and seller's market, all that is are terms to describe what's going on in the market because of supply and demand. And that's really all it is. It's that simple. And so what are some of the things that means? So when we're in a buyer's market, it means that inventory is high, so the supply is greater than demand. And in the real estate market, when we say inventory, we're referring to homes that are currently for sale. And those homes in a buyer's market, they're lingering longer, and the offers that are getting accepted are typically below asking, or the list price that's out there for those homes. So what does this mean to you as a seller? Well, on a seller, it means that marketing efforts are key. They're always key, but they're especially key in a buyer's market. And you want to make sure that you go through and that you have identified everything in your home and accentuated everything in your home that makes it unique against the competition in the market. You want to be able to stand out, and you want to say, hey, I've got this particular kind of flooring, or I've got hardwood flooring throughout the entire house, whereas everybody else, they've just got carpet. So that makes me special. I've got hardwood. So in this market also, you need to be prepared to accept an offer that's lower than what you're asking for. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of a story a thing that my dad used to tell me, especially when I tried to sell a house in 2008. In 2008 to 2010, when the market was really, really bad. Basically what he said is any offer that you get, you have to look at it as, hey, that's the best offer I've gotten today. And that's sort of the mindset that you have to have. Instead of being insulted by every offer, be glad that you got one and see what you can do to negotiate a potential buyer up to a point where you can accept that offer. On the buyer's side, that sellers are going to be more willing to negotiate. So, everybody has somebody that says, just throw out that lowball offer and see what happens. This is the kind of market where you might actually be able to get a little bit of traction with that particular strategy. And maybe you can get somebody to nibble, and you can get a little negotiation going. And also, as a buyer, you can be picky in this kind of market because there's plenty of inventory that's out there. And unless you have a home that you're just absolutely dead set on, odds are you're going to find another one that's almost just like it, just a little bit down the street or not too far away. So you have the option of having a little bit more patience. On the seller, or in a seller's market, again, it's the opposite. So demand is high, and inventory is low. Homes, typically they're selling quicker, the ones that are there, and offers are typically either at or above asking price. If you're a seller in this market, you can be a little bit more picky with the offers that you've got. But do also understand that when you get your home ready for sale, even though you are in a seller's market, if you want to get top dollar, if you want to suck every dime out of that buyer that you possibly can, you need to go through and make sure that you have done the deep cleaning, that you've done the little knick-knack things around the house that need to get done. You've got a door that's squeaking or a floor that's not working right or a hole in the carpet. Get all of those things repaired before you put your home on the market, and then what would have been a little bit of a top dollar maybe is a bigger top dollar. Be prepared for multiples. So if you get an offer, don't maybe immediately accept that one. You've got time. Wait a little bit until your that offer expires, or you're getting close to that offer expiring, and see what else comes in the meantime. On the buyer side, it's a rough road for you in this particular environment, and especially like right now, the way that it is, you can't walk in unless you have a pre-authorization letter from your bank that says they will offer you that much money before your offer will be treated as serious. And when you do that offer, when you put it in, try and add a few things to make it a little bit more unique, make it stand out amongst the crowd instead of just a simple dollar figure. And so I mentioned it yesterday, and I happen to know that this one worked. There was an offer that was made, and they added a day of a moving van. And that that was the piece that made that one particular offer that much better and stand out over the others. Write a love letter to the sellers if you're a buyer in this environment. Real estate, especially residential real estate, it's as much an emotional transaction as it is a business one, if not actually even more. And if you can connect to a seller on an emotional level, that makes your offer received that much better, and your odds of getting that offer accepted are better. And that lowball offer that we were talking about before, keep it in your back pocket. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out in this market. Sellers know that they're going to be able to get pretty good dollars for the house that they're putting up, and they're not interested in wasting their time on a lowball offer. So I hope that this has given a little bit of insight as to seller's market and a buyer's market, and maybe taken away a little bit of the mystique and made it maybe not quite so scary of a thought. So I will be back at 11:45. I'm sorry, 11:45 Eastern, 12:45 Central Time next week, and we will go through and talk about a couple of these other statistics and hopefully raise that foundation of real estate understanding. And until then, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.